We're blessed today to be at historic Bosse Field, one of the oldest ballparks in all of baseball. And we're here talking to second baseman David Cronin. David, it's a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
What is your earliest memory of the game of baseball?
My earliest moment was probably when I was playing t-ball. I lived in Michigan for a couple of years out of Ann Arbor, and just remember playing t-ball with my older brother and their team. And you know, geez, that was a long time ago, but from those days, I'll never forget those moments of, you know, first playing baseball in Michigan, and just blessed that I'm still able to play baseball today.
What was your team growing up? Who would you follow?
Chicago Cubs, 100%. I'm from the south side of Chicago, and my entire family is White Sox fans, except for my grandfather and I, and we were the rebels out of the family, and still diehard Chicago Cubs fans today.
Who's your favorite player?
Growing up, it was Sammy Sosa, but today the player I look up to is Dustin Pedroia from the Boston Red Sox. You know, the smallest guy out in the field, but plays the game the hardest and does whatever it takes to help his team win.
At what point did you decide, you know, I really want to become a major leaguer? I really want to go ahead and go for it?
Well, obviously that was my dream, you know, growing up as a kid and being able to watch the Cubs every day. And, you know, the moment I realized there was an opportunity that I could chase that dream was after my redshirt sophomore year, when I got my first questionnaire from the Chicago White Sox. And, you know, after having a pretty good year my redshirt sophomore year, I'm like, you know, as long as I keep working hard and playing the game right, the opportunity is going to be there. And luckily I got successful with it and still playing today.
Now, you ended up going to college. University was Illinois Chicago.
Illinois,
Chicago. What are some of your great memories of that period of time?
Definitely all the friendships I've made. You know, I actually have a good buddy of mine that's playing for Windy City right now, and we got together last night and went out for breakfast this morning. So that was the first time I saw him since probably February. And you know, a lot of those kids that I became really good buddies with from UIC are still one of my good buddies today, and just those memories we made with them and the friendships I'll never forget for the rest of my life.
Now it's funny because you talk about being a Cubs fan and you were a rebel against the White Sox. Well, who drafted you?
Chicago White Sox drafted me.
Now, what was that like for you on draft day? I'm curious. All of a sudden you're waiting to get picked and you're going through that, and all of a sudden your name gets called and it's the White Sox. Was there an inkling of that they were going to draft you, or?
I had a pretty good idea that they were really interested in me. I mean, like I said, they were the first team that reached out to me after when I was about 20 years old, and at that point I really didn't care who drafted me or what round I got chosen, and I just really wanted to pursue that dream of, you know, making it to the big leagues one day. And luckily the White Sox gave me that opportunity last summer, and unfortunately it's over with them for now, but that's something I'll never be able to say, like, no one can take that away from me. Was the White Sox drafted me as a kid from Chicago.
And now you're here in Evansville working on your career and your game. What do you think about playing at Bosse Field and with the Otters?
It's been a great time so far. I mean, luckily these teammates of mine are great dudes. The coaching staff is great. This is a great ballpark to play in, great town. So I have no regrets about it, and I'm just thankful Andy and his staff gave me an opportunity to continue to play here.
What's your most memorable hit?
Had to be in our conference championship game in the spring of 2017. We were playing against Wright State, and we were up 2-1, and their starting pitcher went 3-0 count on me, and he came off Tommy John the year before, and once it was 3-0, his elbow snapped again, and they had to bring in their star closer to try and, you know, shut the door from a big inning, and he threw me a 3-1 fastball right down the middle and drove in 2 runs for an RBI triple, and it was one of the best feelings of my entire life. And there's actually a video on YouTube of me being pumped up and beating my chest after it happened. So it was incredible and something I'll never forget.
As far as managers go, what is the most important thing for you that a manager can do for you?
They always have your back. You know, I had a great coaching staff at UIC that was always behind me, regardless if, you know, I went 0 for 4 at the dish one day or was, you know, great at the dish. But to have a coach really have your back and, you know, be there for you when you're down, be there for you when you're up, and kind of just be like another friend to you. It's not always about baseball. You know, school can get brought up, or just, you know, if things are going on with your family. Just those guys are really special to me, and wouldn't be here without them.
I want to thank you so much for your time. We really
Yeah,
appreciate
thank
the
you.
opportunity to talk to you.
Of
And
course.
I just want to say, if there are scouts or anybody out there, we've been watching this guy for the last like 5 to 6 weeks play. He fields really well. He's an excellent bunter, which is something that's not done in baseball too much anymore. And the guy's got wheels and a good glove, and he's an asset to any organization that'd be out there. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Hey, no problem.